Good morning, Living Waters, and welcome back to our time of coffee together. This is a new week here at Living Waters. We heard yesterday in the sermon. We like to take the sermon text and continue the messages that it has for us as we go throughout the week. And it helps us start our day with the message that God wants us living out. And so we have this idea of God having the authority and using it to take on evil. And God gives us authority to the church, right? We are called to answer our baptismal promises in order to make the world a better place. God has given us authority and the ability to do these things, right? And I think part of this works because God has the authority in the lives of those who believe. And so this week, I want to look at what does it mean for God to have authority in our lives? What concept? I think that fleshing that out with Scripture to start each day this week will give us a good perspective of how then we can use that authority God has given us to make the world a better place. And so I take us to the very first chapter in all of Scripture, Genesis chapter 1. I'm at the point, chapter 1, verse 27 writes, God creates humankind in God's own image, both male and female are both in God's image. We've done videos on that, but it always is good to just hit that again. And God is not just a man, male and female, both in God's image. And so, but what does God do? This first action, right? God blesses them, says to them, be fruitful, multiply, fill the earth, and subdue it. Have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, over everything that moves upon the earth. Right? This idea of dominion, another way to put it is having authority over this creation. And God continues. The idea is that whatever you plant should yield, and you have the beasts of the earth, etc., etc. God saw everything that God had made, and it was good. Right away, from the very beginning, according to our faith, right? God had the authority, having created the heavens and the earth, and everything that dwells within it, including humankind in God's image. And God used that authority, that power, and gave it to humanity. Creation is a gift. All the things in our world, our galaxy, faraway galaxies, the universe we don't even know yet, they've all been created by God and given to us. And we've been given authority from God to interact with it, to care for it, to live with and off it. This is the thing. We, as God has been given authority and choosing to make the world a better place, we too were given authority for creation, and we were supposed to make the world a better place with that as well. to tend and grow and garden and raise and interact, be one with this creation. Perhaps we haven't used our authority as well as God used God's authority. But I raise it here. Yes, we could do better in caring for creation, better in answering our calls. This first covenant, actually, if you think about it. But I raise it today to show, kind of like last week after we started in Genesis, but to show that God does this a lot. God has the power, God has the authority, and God gives us a chance to be a part of that. God saw that was good, and God gives us a chance to bring about more good, to be part of what God is doing. We have that choice. So we heard yesterday, we have that choice every day. And so, God has the authority and God and power, and God chose to continue to make the world a better place, drive out evil, and thus God saw the creation was good, gave us the authority to interact with it, and such. It's kind of how God works. God has the authority, and good things can happen. So, that's a good setup for the week. We'll stop there, and we'll continue tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.